Southwestern is a mostly Latino community college in Chula Vista. Lorene Azen enrolled in its dental hygiene program in 2016. It was her dream.
Sounds a bit weird, but I thoroughly enjoy watching the calcified plaque break away from the enamel.
The first day, she says her professor, Kisa Waddell, said something odd.
10, 15 years ago, you just see so many blondes. And now I look around the program, there's just so many brunettes. It's just so funny.
Azen, who is Middle Eastern, says it was the first of many racially tinged comments made by Waddell, who is white.
Like she'll say it, but with a joke, to where you would have to question yourself, like, wait, did she really just say that?
Waddell and college leadership declined to comment on the claims in this story. Another day, Azen says,
she was saying, hey, if you guys see a big black man that's fixing the AC, don't be afraid. That is the dean's assistant. I thought that was just wild. Some of us looked at each other like, what is this lady saying? What is she trying to say more so?
The indirectness made Azen question herself.
Is this just me? Is it in my head? So I Googled. And I found a whole slew of complaints.
RateMyProfessors.com is full of complaints against Waddell, including racism. Azen says she tried to talk to the program director, Jean Honey.
She didn't even let me get a word in. She said, listen, I know what this is about, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If you are going to be successful in private practice, gossip is only going to get you fired.
Honey also declined to comment for this story.
After hearing that with Honey, I was scared.
Azen felt like she was up against a power structure that could break her dream.
This is, your livelihood. You've gone through so many years of school. You're at the mercy of these people.
She failed out of her first year. She says Waddell kept losing her assignments and not totaling her points correctly.
I had to wait a whole another year to reapply. And it was embarrassing.
She says that time in her life has become a blur.
There's a lot of things that I kind of just buried, because I've never experienced something like that.
Her classmate, Nellie Ramirez, says she's buried it too. But one incident with Waddell remains fresh in Ramirez's mind years later. She and Azen were preparing to educate Chula Vista school children about how sugary drinks and candy affect dental health.
She made a comment saying, don't you think you should be talking to them about eating tacos and burritos instead, which was, in the moment, obviously, because it was just, how do you process that, right?
But students could confide, Azen says, in two professors, Linda Lucas and Karen Kubishta.
They heard with an open heart and treated you like a human being. All of the other students can attest to that.
Students were afraid if they reported racist treatment, they would fail the program. So Lucas and Kubishta brought a Title IX complaint on their behalf with anonymous letters from nearly a dozen students. It names several faculty and staff, including Waddell and Honey. It describes professors speaking to students who have accents, quote, painfully slow and loud. A U.S.-born student copying an immigrant student's work and receiving much higher scores. Students unable to sleep or concentrate in class because of racist treatment. And includes their own testimony, like Honey warning them to, quote, be careful when dealing with, quote, those people, referring to African American and Muslim students. In the complaint, Lucas and Kubishta also voiced fear that they would be retaliated against. According to their recent lawsuit, that's exactly what happened. Their lawyer, Arash Sadat.
Then they start changing their hours. The school starts, fabricating alleged violations against them.
He says the school pulled Lucas off a class she had taught for a decade. They denied both professors remote teaching during the pandemic and then put them both on leave.
And the reason they're doing this is to get rid of these two professors who they believe to be a problem.
If so, it ultimately worked. Both quit. Waddell retired recently. Sadat says before that, she received multiple promotions, taking Kubishta's old position. Honey took a position at a college in Riverside. Even today, former students like Azen say they're still nervous to speak, but they must.
For all the other students, we have to say something. This has been going on for so many years.
In 2018, a USC report found a, quote, climate of anti-Blackness at Southwestern. Tomorrow, we'll hear from college leadership about what they've done since to change that, and from current Black students. Katie Hyson, KPBS News.